the Scrubs XP1000. Again, I don't know, it's been on the channel a lot. So our friends at Kemimoto, we worked with them a lot in the past. They were kind enough to send us some new fender flares, and we're going to go with some lower doors. These are plastic lower doors and they're sealed. We'll explain why we're switching to different lower doors. We're going with the wider fender, so these oversized 32s just don't pelt us with mud when we're on long trail rides. And honestly, I think it's gonna look a little cooler with having these bigger tires on it. So we're gonna install and review these fender flares and these plastic lower doors right here, and we'll tell you guys what we think about them.
So with these metal doors here, they're super noisy. They vibrate a lot, shake, and really wear into the plastic. So these plastic ones will be a huge upgrade from these metal ones. So super excited about that. So with the new Kemimoto fender flares, we're gonna have overall more mud protection. And they're gonna be about, I think they're like 8 inches, so it'll be about here. It'll be a nice little upgrade. Tried the old little mud flap down here, that helped, but we're about performance here at Rapaholic. So with the new Kemimoto flares, it'll be a lot more protection and we will stay cleaner of our ride and have an overall better experience. So we're super excited about that as well.
Here we have the lower, this is just one half of the kit, but so it has this metal frame in here. It's a good metal structure to help make it stiff. And honestly, I think it feels stronger than just the aluminum doors over there. So we got a new back plate, so it's going to cover up this section right here. This is also steel. So that plastic piece replaces this. Now I think we're not 200% sure in this, but I think on some of the older models this piece is just open. And here we have an XP Turbo. It's a 21 model, and this one did come with that piece already installed, so you might not need to use it. Pretty simple instructions. It's really straightforward. I mean, here's all your hardware on a bag, nice and neat, and yeah, it's really not that bad. So we'll get started.
So the first thing we need to do to install these Kemimoto lower doors is to remove any accessories you had prior, and then we're going to take the outer door skin off so we can start the installation of the skeleton skin for the lower door. So let's get this skin off. We're going to start the process of installing the lower door. So the first thing we need to do is to slide these two tabs into our factory door skeleton here. Gonna go in just like that. Then we're gonna install 2 M8 screws provided in the kit, just like that. And then we're gonna be on to our next step. Our next step is to install these front brackets here for the lower door. Our 4 M8 screws provided in the kit, with two nylon nuts also provided in the kit. And they go right here in the front of the door skeleton, just like so. We're gonna lift our lower door, kind of eyeball it, get to where we think we need it, and we're going to start fastening the 6 screws we just put in.
Just got to be snug. They don't have to be super tight.
We're not getting them tight yet until we know where we want everything for sure, and then we'll get everything real snug now. So our next step after getting our Kemimoto lower door loosely installed, we're gonna put our OEM outer door shell on, and then get everything adjusted and tightened up. We need to get our lower door to match up as close with our OEM body line as we can. Then we're going to tighten down the 6 M8 screws and the lower door skin. And all you got to do is kind of pick it up. Helps if you have another guy eyeball for you.
Yeah, and honestly, looks pretty good right there. Maybe this side could go up a little bit, but yeah, it's pretty good.
So like that, and we'll tighten down our M8 screws. So now we've got our lower doors on and adjusted. We're gonna put on this rear plate here. And if you have one already, you'll take it off. I had metal ones and they rattled bad, so we're gonna put these plastic ones on. Got a nice little seal here to help keep the vibration and noise down. And then with the kit, they gave us these J clamps and some screws. I found it was easier to start the screw in it before we install it. That way you're not fighting it while down in there in a kind of a cramped space. So it helps get the threads made in the plastic. So let's get this installed. It's nice here. They got little channels here that we'll put around our bar. Get the seal pressed against there. The seal's gonna fight you a little bit. It's gonna be a little tight with that. And it might be easier to have for some people to have a guy with you. Snap a clamp in. And it's plastic, so don't go too tight. But it's made it way easier having the screw pre-started in our plate here, so threads are made, so you weren't really fighting and having to really push down on it. So
the very first time you put those screws in, you're actually making your own threads in the plastic. So yeah, don't over tighten them because you can pull your plastic threads out.
Yep, being it's plastic doesn't mean insanely tight because it won't really vibrate loose. The plastic will kind of act like thread locker as well. So don't over tighten it. Now we'll install our other 2 J clamps. So I'm leaving these a little loose until I get all the clamps on. That way I can wiggle it and give it into just the right orientation and make sure it looks good, and then we'll snug them down. All right, now I got the orientation where I wanted this. I tightened down my 3 J clamps on the inside. And it's really nice and snug and secure. This little rubber seal here will keep the vibration down, and this plate will keep any mud from the rear tires from entering where we're sitting. So overall, really nice and sturdy, and really happy with this piece.
Yeah, it turned out really well.
Super easy to install.
Yeah, I know it's not white, but the plastic just looks better than the steel did. Yeah. It just looks better.
And they vibrated so bad.
Yes, they did.
Being this right next to my head, this piece always drove me nuts. So this is going to be a huge upgrade.
Sweet. Yep. Thank you, Kemimoto. It looks awesome. The fitment was great, and yeah, it only took half hour to get one side done with just one guy and stuff. So
not with me taking my old parts off. So if I didn't have that, probably easily a 15-minute install.
Yeah, pretty simple. I mean, and one thing we should mention, also probably a good idea to maybe have all the bolts loosened on the door and this piece right here, and then shut it, and then make sure all your seals are lining up good down here and up in that area. And then if you find a good spot, then tighten it down. We found that worked a lot better to make sure your fitment just was a lot snug.
Play with it a little bit to get it as near perfect as we can.
But it wasn't bad. You just loosen all your bolts up. You might have to wiggle your door around a little bit. Just make sure that everything's just fitting good, and then yeah, super easy.
Now we're gonna get started on our new Kemimoto rear flares, the extended extra large ones they sent us. There is no hardware in this kit. You use all the OEM hardware. First thing we're gonna do is remove all our bolts on our old fender. Here. And then we got these push pins on the inside as well, and one on the outside. So let's get this old fender off. We can transfer the OEM hardware to this Kemimoto rear fender, and let's get this installed.
It is nice to have these special tools to take these push pins off, but you can use a flat screwdriver and some pliers if you don't have them.
Right.
But these tools are handy. And even
slide right out.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't got anything fancy. I mean, these are just some cheapies.
We also have this tool. It's really meant for the Christmas tree style of push pins, but it does work for these style as well. Like I said, a flat screwdriver and some pliers will get them out, but it is a little hard on them. You might ruin them, so just be careful with taking them out.
Just like that, easy.
Yep.
No damage. I kind of ruined these other ones taking them off before, but
yep.
We got the right tool.
If you got the right tool, it's pretty easy to take them out.
So with the old fender off, now I got my new Kemimoto new fender. Let's get around there.
Oh yeah.
First, you want to get the back in here.
So the old hardware stays there, so you don't even have to.
Stays in the fender.
Yeah, you don't even have to exchange or nothing. You're just putting a new fender on. That's basically all you're doing.
Bolt on.
You're bolting it right on.
The back started. And get your rear in place. Just like that.
Yeah, and then just start with your screws here.
Start with the hardware.
Do your push pins last. Super easy.
Make sure you screw these in by hand so you don't mess up your little square knot in the back on your fender.
You can over tighten those too, so don't over tighten them.
Yep, you will destroy your OEM fender.
Yeah,
and you can
your clip
damage your new fender as well.
Yep. She looks mean now from the back. There's a little side comparison how much wider it is from OEM. So that's regular OEM. That's Kemimoto extended under flare. And yeah, it looks really good.
So I recommend putting in these new push pins every time. I mean, my machine's an 18, so they do kind of vibrate over time. So it's nice to put new ones in so they stay nice and tight.
Yeah.
And keep my new Kemimoto thunder flares secured to the machine. And I recommend not pushing these in until you have all your hardware or fasteners in
first,
and then you can secure it. That way you can kind of wiggle, move it, and get it in just that right sweet spot.
Yeah. Just like that. Easy peasy. That was a 10-minute job just for one fender, if that. I mean,
Not even that.
Not even that.
To find the tools.
Yeah, it was more time getting the tools than it was installing it. So
this is nice and secure in here. Not moving at all, no movement. Really nice fit, man. Super happy with this.
nice. Yeah.
Let's move on to the front.
Yep. Now it's time for the front, but yeah, it looks good. It's gonna help a lot.
So working on the front here, got my OEM fender off, and you will have to transfer one square nut for the front of the fender on your new Kemimoto from your originals. So that's the only thing you have to transfer over. It's easy as peasy. You slide the one out, and slide it right into place. That's all there is to it. Slid, just like that. And again, we're using the original hardware that came off the OEM fender.
On the deep spot. You're hung up on something. I think you're hung up on some vegetation. Thank you for these extra big fenders, Kemimoto. We are staying dry. We are dry.
No, you're dry.
I'm dry. Brock is wet. I'm not entirely sure how much we caught on camera, but we got stuck, and the fenders did a pretty good job.
Yeah, was in a mud hole and was flinging mud everywhere, and Kemimoto's flares kept us nice and dry.
It really did. As you can see, we got mud everywhere. This is from the front tire, but as you can see, it really held back a lot of mud. It did its job. The side's not that bad.
Door caught a lot right there.
Yeah.
The interior,
We did not get muddy at all in here. And yeah. So the extra wide fender flares worked really good, and the lower door did its job. Everything working good.
Yeah, I'm super happy. This is a huge upgrade in my opinion for any heavy trail rider.
Definitely.
It's really nice to have, so super stoked about that.
We got some more projects coming along, so hope you guys stay tuned. Leave a like, subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one.